There are just certain keywords and phrases that I think that when you start to hear them, you might actually start to question whether or not that person actually is. It's kind of like when someone says, I don't mean to be rude, to start a sentence, right? How when someone goes, well, I don't mean to be rude, and then they go into something that's super rude. You know, it's like if you have to preface something, most of the time you probably aren't that thing. So I've been going to a lot of networking events. I've been telling these stories. I like to disclose all this information so that, and I like to be transparent so that you, my listeners, can understand what I'm going through so that when I hear conversations myself and I think that they could be improved, what are some examples that you can learn from these mistakes, in my opinion, and get better from? So recently I was at a networking event. The networking event does not matter. Individuals get to stand up at many of these and give some sort of like quick elevator pitch. At one within the last few months, some individual got up, said, hey, I'm new to business. And also I'm a hard worker. Now, I get it. In this case, you're being super honest and super truthful as to what you are. The challenge with that answer is that oftentimes individuals actually have a lot more milestones and accolades that they can talk about, but they don't. And so instead, they talk like they're super technical instead of actually getting out something that's going to help them. Now, I remember when I was working with a lot of technical co-founders in some of my days early on investing in companies. And oftentimes your technical co-founders are super smart people and definitely understand the ins and outs of what you're going through. And they say it as is, right? A great example to say this on the surface is, this is 1 gigabyte of data in my phone. Or in an iPod. Or it's 1,000 songs in my pocket, which is how Steve Jobs explained basically the same thing. Oftentimes when we tell the complete truth, maybe that's a hard way to say that. When we tell the way that we see it without necessarily telling the full story with context, it's not there. So even though you might be in a new business for the first time, you don't have to say that you're a rookie, because what it makes people look like is, hey, you're a rookie, you don't know what you're doing, you're not credible, when you actually might have decades of experience. You're just looking at it in too technical of a way. Another thing that I recommend not saying is that you're a hard worker. Let the work show itself, right? If someone has to tell me why that they're a hard worker, now I'm going to put some sort of like indicator on. I'm going to put some sort of glasses on. I'm going to put my analysis on and say, well, are you a hard worker or are you not a hard worker? Because a lot of times what I think is a hard worker is not what you think is a hard worker. To me, hard worker is I'm going to work 40 extra hours a week maybe, right? And so when you start using words that other people think one way and you think the other, what goes? So think about when you are having conversations with people, the words that you use can really be used, even though you think they're going to help you, they actually are going to potentially hurt you. So if someone says, I'm a hard worker, well, I would hope everyone's a hard worker. I don't think that that's necessarily going to stand out. Well, I'm a rookie, but I'm a hard worker. That's not going to let that hard work be seen in your work. Be the first in, last out. Be the Peyton Manning effect. You don't have to use that to describe yourself. And then if you're new to something, figure out a way to not tell the world that you're new at something. Because what happens is they might look down on you a little differently, even though you might have a lot of experience. A great example is I remember the first time I ever really thought about this was a few years ago. I was working with a business owner who was new, was literally when I met this person was probably 3 weeks into owning a business. They opened a business that literally was in the skill that they had done for the previous 25 years. So instead of saying that they have 25 years experience, what do they say? I'm new. I am a rookie. I'm a new business. I don't know what I'm doing. 25 years experience in the industry, but says they are a rookie. You see where the difference is, and you see why it's so important to make sure that you're positioning yourself correctly in the skills that you actually have. And oftentimes when you're using describers that are like, I'm hardworking, I'm diligent, I'm this, I would hope so. I would hope that in 2018, when everyone is, complaining about millennials being so not in the zone and being lazy, that if you are going after something, that you're not going to be the lazy one, that you're going to be the hardworking, the diligent one that's going to come in first, leave last, that's going to bust their tail. I would hope so. So when you're describing yourself, the worst thing I think you can do is start telling everyone that you're a hard worker. Instead, show them that you're a hard worker. Right? Maybe you're going after a job. What could you be doing beforehand to show them that you're a hard worker? Maybe a job comes up on a job board, and what do most people do in that case? They apply. Well, why don't you reach out to the hiring manager and say, hey, I understand this job is available, and I'm going to go after it, but I would love to come in for a week and show you why I'm the right candidate. And I'll do it for free. You want a job? There's how you prove your point. That's how you become the anomaly, right? You do what everyone else doesn't. And so, please give me this job. I'm going to write it on my resume. It's going to be beautiful. I'm a hard worker. I'm diligent. I'm awesome. No. Prove your point. Prove to me that you are, right? Prove to that hiring manager that you know what you're doing. And so we all get stuck in these, why is my life so bad? Why isn't my career what I want it to be? Well, what are you doing to make it amazing? And so we hope that we can come up with these key words that will get us this job, or if we own a business, this next contract. When instead, what could we be doing to show a little insights to people like, this is what you're going to get, right? So if you really want to work with a client, if you really want to get a job, why don't you give them a little bit of time for free to say, hey, this is what you're going to get out of me. If you get this out of me for free, imagine what you're going to get when I pay you. Now look, yes, there's a caveat and outliers in there where you have to be a little careful to make sure that you're just not doing free work with someone. But when we talk about hard work, show it. Don't say it. What you want is other people to say that you're a hard worker. You can't be describing yourself that way. So if you're sitting here listening and you're like, okay, I want this contract with this person. What can I do? Well, I want this job with this business. What can I do to stand out and show them that I really want it? A bunch of stupid keywords are not going to be it. But maybe showing up at the office and showing them what you could do it. So instead of describing yourself as an amazing person, let others say that about you. But instead you show them why you're amazing. Looks like you got a lot of work to do, folks. Might as well get to it. Until next time. Zack Miller out.